First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. That's what you see behind me. We're here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. We go throughout the afternoon covering a wide range of topics. And beer is the topic for this segment right here. In particular, a brand new inaugural festival that is taking place up in Washougal. I'm talking about the Legends of the West Beer Fest, West Coast IPAs, West Coast brewers. There's a lot to talk about with this. And right now we are joined by one of the owners of Grains of Wrath up there in Washougal and one of the, I guess, purveyors of this inaugural festival, Brendan Greenen. Brendan, thank you, for joining us here today. I appreciate it. And I want to get into this new festival, but before we start, can you tell us just a little bit about Grains of Wrath? Like, when did you get into this industry?
Yeah, I've been in the craft beer industry for quite a number of years. I think 13 or 14. Or so. But my partner, Mike Hunsaker, he's our head brewer, along with Owen Lamb, is our production manager at both of our facilities. They've been doing this professionally for quite a number of years, both coming from the Cleveland area with Fatheads. They came out and opened Fatheads Portland when that existed many years ago. And that's kind of where I met them, and we switched over. So and started Grains of Wrath. And it's been a little over 7 years for us since we opened our doors at our Camas pub. And that's a small production system, basically, with a full restaurant that has been going strong for a number of years. We just opened our production facility last September, which is where the festival is going to be held this year. So seeing some good growth, seeing some good market penetration, and, beer's getting a good name for itself. The boys are doing a great job brewing beers that are winning plenty of awards and getting a lot of accolades and recognition. So trying to keep that going. We're mostly known for West Coast IPAs and lagers. And so we decided to tie into that and do a West Coast IPA festival.
Yeah, well, when you talk about West Coast IPA, for anybody who doesn't know, what specifically would you say defines a West Coast IPA?
West Coast IPAs are lean and mean on the malt bill. They're really showcases for hops, the flavors, the aromas. There's so many different great hops out there and new ones coming out every year, experimentals that we get to play around with. But it's clear IPA that you can see your hand through. You can drink it, and it's not the bitter IPAs of old. It's all about flavor and aroma and really getting that impact, with the senses.
Yeah, so not that, and I do like some of those IPAs that are super bitter, but this is like going that opposite direction. So maybe an IPA that's more approachable for people who don't like that bitter side of things.
Yeah. It's kind of like, the hazy train came out a couple years back, and hazies are known for being essentially like a gateway IPA, if you will. They're soft, they're palatable, they're easy drinking. West Coast IPAs are very similar. They just don't have the haze. They're not quite as soft. They do have a little bit more of a brightness to them than hazies would, but still the same flavors and aromas that you're going to be getting out of those from the hops.
And for this festival, so tell us, you mentioned you decided to jump into this, but what was the whole idea behind this, and how did you decide who's going to be a part of it?
We have developed a lot of relationships via, mutual friendships with the hop growers in the region, whether that be Willamette Valley or up in Yakima. And we've got a lot of friends in the markets that we're doing. A lot of the beers are coming from California and Colorado. We've built relationships with a lot of those guys through festivals or similar styles of brewing, right? We network within the industry. And so we got a pretty good idea of, who the heaviest hitters were in the country that we could get to send beer up to this. And so that's who we reached out to.
Nice. It does seem like something like the beer industry, at least here in the Northwest, I'm sure it's like this other places probably too, but it seems, there's obviously competition, but also a real big sense of community between everybody who's brewing in the industry. Do you find that to be true?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody scratches each other's backs. If we need an extra bag of hops that we're short on, and we can, usually call the brewery down the street or across the river and find the bag that somebody's going to loan us, and we can get another one back to them, or, share yeast pitches and stuff like that as well. So.
Nice. Well, for this festival, for people who are going to attend, an inaugural festival like this, people haven't been here before, what can they expect at this, and what's the event like?
Yeah, so it's at our production facility in Washougal, so we're going to have some space inside, that's going to be shaded and whatnot. We've got 38 different beers coming, 40 different beers coming with our own that we're pouring for the festival, including a couple collabs we did with like Boneyard, for example. These are mostly beers that have never been distributed to this market. There are some, obviously, Oregon and Washougal brewers that are going to be here as well, with some beers that you might have tasted at their tap rooms or up in those markets. But, all the other beers are stuff that you haven't seen here before and probably won't see here again until we do this next year, kind of thing. So that's really the showcase there. We've got 3 bands playing that are going to be awesome. We're really excited for that. We got a band at 3, 5, and 7. So there's 3 sets going on throughout the night. And then a couple great food trucks, Razzo's Tacos, Zaddy's PDX. They're going to be there hanging out. Our friend at Varietal Brewing up in Yakima area is going to be bringing down a ton of his hop water that we're just going to be having out. So if you like hop water, haven't tried hop water, been curious about it, this is a good way to try it. He makes some of the best in the Northwest. So.
Okay, wait, really quick. What is hop water?
Hop water is basically carbonated water that has the flavors and aromatics of whichever hops are being used in it or whatever hop product is being used in it. So it's a non-alcoholic product. It's refreshing. It's kind of like a cold hop tea, carbonated hop tea, if you will.
Nice. I definitely want to try that. I mean, I love the smell of hops, so that's I want to try that, absolutely. Well, for just to remind everybody, is there a website they can go to find out more information or anything like that, and what do they need to do to attend the event?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find information on any of our socials, so just at Grains of Wrath, or you can go to our website, gowbeer.com. There's going to be a nice bright green banner at the top. There's a link to the tickets, link to the page there that kind of explains the event, which breweries are attending, and then a link to the tickets. You can go buy tickets. They're $60 a ticket. You get 16 tokens. Each token is good for a 4-ounce pour. So you start off with 4 pints worth of beer, 16 different beers, and then there's additional tokens that you can get as well. But yeah, it's a 2 to 8 on Saturday the 12th, and it's going to be a good time. All
right, there we go. Well, Brendan, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate the information, and congratulations on getting this event launched and the success of Grains of Wrath. And we all appreciate brewers doing well around here. So yeah, congrats, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. For everybody watching again, as I mentioned, we are live streaming here, so we go throughout the afternoon. And one of the big things, too, here for this show is if there's ever breaking news, we are here for you with that as well. So if that happens between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., this is the place, whatever platform you're on. But we're going to take a quick break. We've got lots more coming up. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.